just a single injury here in our senior showmanship this morning. The lady does a nice job having her pig in a highly presented manner, get her clean, doing a nice job of keeping it moving around the ring. Give her a few things that she can work on for the future, but let's give her a big round of applause.
Our grand champion senior showman was Bella. In the ring now, we will have our intermediate showmanship with I would like to take a moment to introduce and thank our judge, Seth Keys, for coming out here this morning and judging. We really appreciate him being here.
Nice job here this morning by these three individuals in our intermediate showmanship. I think there's two that separate themselves and are pretty competitive here at the top of the class. I guess the one for me that just did a little better job of being a little quicker back in front of me, a little smoother with their transitions, and a little more aware of where they are relative to where their pig is and me in the ring is going to be the young man with the black hog here in the center. He's going to go ahead and be our champion today. He does a really nice job, taking nothing away from the young man with the white gilt. He too did a really nice job. I think early on he maybe even made a couple quicker passes right back in front of me. Later on, he just got a few too many times that he was crossing in between me and the pig versus getting that step around the head and quick turn back. But a very nice job by him. Young lady's doing a nice job with their gilt. Gave them all some little pieces of advice to help them moving forward. But let's give them all a big round of applause.
The results for our intermediate showmanship class, our grand champion was Bodie McDonald, reserve grand was Booker McDonald, and top blue was Isley Newhold. In the ring now will be our junior showmanship class with Avery Rowenbaugh, Mason Unruh, Landon Unruh, and Ren Newhold. I just want to put a little reminder that our 4-H Council Fair concession stand is open. They are serving breakfast burritos and biscuits and gravy this morning if you guys want some breakfast.
Nice job as we come back out here for our junior division. I think all 4 of these individuals do a nice job of getting their projects presented and have done a good job of having them clean and highly presented as they step into the ring. They're all knowledgeable about their projects and working with them. I think there's a couple that separate just a little bit in terms of the intensity that they have at the drive and a little more direction in terms of what they're trying to have a plan out here as they're moving. I guess for me today, the one that's going to go ahead and win is going to be the young man first coming back across the arena towards me with the big Yorkshire barrow. Was just a little quicker a couple of times to get off the fence and make a pass across the middle than a couple of the others. stayed in between, kept the pig in between me and him a little more often as we were out here compared to a couple others. Second's going to be the other young man with the Yorkshire Barrow, one that once again, I like the way that he has been out here and moved and kept that pig moving and being very intentional of how he's getting that pig drove. Does a very nice job of that. Just need a little more intensity at times as we move down the line. Third's going to go ahead and be the young lady with the Duroc, especially early on. She did the best job of eye contact with me, gave me the most intense looks, just not as quick to get the pig back in front of me. And rounding out the class is going to be the young lady with the belted barrow. Does a nice job of staying calm and collected and keeping the pig moving, just not as much of a plan out here on where she wants to go with it. But let's give all these individuals a big round of applause.
Results of our junior showmanship class: grand champion was Landon Unruh, reserve champion was Mason Unruh, top blue was Avery Rowenbaugh, and fourth with the blue was Ren Newhold. In the ring next, we will kick off our market show. Our first class will be lightweight market hogs weighing 120 to 227 pounds. That'll be Avery Rowenbaugh, Isley Newhold, and Bella Dearden.
Good first class of market hogs as we come out here. I guess an easy place to start for me is going to be the young lady with the belted gilt coming across the arena towards me. A gilt that I just think offers the most power and dimension all the way through. She's the boldest in terms of the turn to her forerib. She matches that up with the squarest and boldest shape on the top side of her skeleton and back out through her hip. If I could modify her, I'd want to stand her up a bit higher at the point of that shoulder, set her down on a bit more circumference of bone, and level her out of that hip as she gets out here at the drive. But one that in terms of just some power and dimension and market hog character offers the most good. From there, we're going to go ahead and use the young lady's Berkshire gilt for second, one that I love, the length and extension and the more correctness of design from the profile that compared to our class winner. Fortunately, today she's just a bit more closed up in her lower skeleton. She's flatter to the base of her rib, a little drier in that rib, and just doesn't hit me with the same mass and dimension down the top side of her skeleton compared to our class winner, but one that I like a lot of pieces of design in. Young lady's pig that's going to go ahead and round out the class, one that I really appreciate, the front third of that gilt, the length and extension and the choke front that she offers. She just needs more to her and more time on feed. She needs powered up and opened up all the way through and just given more dimension all the way through. But let's give all these exhibitors a big round of applause.
The results from our first lightweight market hog class: first place with a blue is Bella Dearden, second place with a blue is Isley Newhold, and third place with a red is Avery Rowenbaugh. In the ring now, we will have our second class of lightweight market hogs. These are hogs weighing 237 to 253 pounds.
Another nice class as we come back out. An easy place to start with the young man's white-footed barrow coming at me. A barrow that I like a lot of pieces in. He's still pretty stout and square about his skull. He comes back from that with a big forearm in him. He matches up with the most power and dimension down his top and out through his hip, the boldest in terms of the shape to the center portion of his rib. If I could be nitpicky on him and want to change just a couple things, I'd like to relax him in that spine just a touch there through the center portion of his body and pull him apart down low just a bit more. But one that in terms of just some natural market hog character while still having an attractive look from the profile, I like a lot of pieces in that barrow. From there, we're going to go ahead and use the young lady's Yorkshire barrow on the far side of the ring, one that I really appreciate the length and extension he offers up front. He's still good, deep-sided pig that offers some muscle shape and turn to the outer portion of his top line and up through the upper portion of his hip. He just needs pulled apart and given more true shape down, right down that groove down his top, open him up there to really get up there and compete with our class winner. Young lady's Duroc barrow that's going to be third, one that's just practical in his build. He's good centered, deep-bodied kind of pig. I guess for me today at this weight, he's pushing a little extra condition through that lower third and doesn't match it up with the same width and dimension that the other two offer through the top side of their skeleton, but he's still a good-footed, sounded, practical kind of barrow. Let's give all three of those exhibitors a round of applause.
The results from our second lightweight market hog class: first place with the blue is Bodie McDonald, second place with the blue is Bella Dearden, In third place with a red is Avery Rowenbaugh. In the ring next, we will have our market weight hogs. These are hogs weighing 270 to 293 pounds. And this class includes Ren Newhold, Booker McDonald, and Mason Unruh. I would like to take a moment to thank all our fair board members, livestock superintendents, and all our sponsors and everyone here today that helped make the fair possible. Without your guys' time and support, we wouldn't be able to do what we can do and be able to help our 4-H'ers learn and grow. So please give a round of applause for all our fair board members, superintendents, and everyone that helps makes this possible.
Most challenging class of the day comes in next. I think all three of these pigs have some pieces that I like, and all three of them have some things that I'd like to change. All three of them structurally hit me with some different issues, so that makes it even a bit more of a challenge as we get out here. I guess for me, the one that pulls together the most good pieces in terms of some look with some power and dimension is going to be the young lady's belted barrow. He's just the most opened up and massive all the way through. He's the stoutest about his skull, the boldest in the turn to his forerib. He hits me with the most muscle shape and dimension down the top side and out through his hip. Now, if I could modify him, I'd want to set him down on more circumference of bone off of both ends. I'd like to change the way that he handles that hip and hind leg and pull him back inside himself just a little bit more there. But in terms of just true power and dimension, he's the one that hits me with the most good. From there, it gets really challenging between the other two. I think both of them offer some differences in terms of design and pieces like that. I elect to go ahead and use the young man's York gilt to be second. I just like the extra design pieces that she has to offer. She's deeper and through her rear rib and flank. She balances up more correctly from the profile, is more attractive in terms of the way she's built through that front 1/3. And even though she's not perfect in the way she sets down off those hind twos, she's still more functional in the way that she handles them out here today, even if she is a nickel straight. Now, she needs more to her. I'd like to power her up, give her more mass and dimension all the way through, but a very nice project for him. Young man's Duroc gilt is a bit of a challenge. I like the extra foot and bone that this gilt has to offer and the muscle shape she offers up high. She just doesn't pull it together for me today. She's too high on her top, round out of her hip. She's tucked up in that flank, and by far the worst in terms of the way that she handles that hip and hind leg for me out here today. But let's give all these exhibitors a big round of applause.
Results of our market weight hog class. First place with the blue is Ren Newhold. Second place with the blue is Booker McDonald. And third place with the blue is Mason Unruh. In the ring now, we will have our heavyweight market hogs class. These are hogs weighing 296 pounds to 331 pounds. In this class, we will have Mason Unruh, Bodie McDonald, and Landon Unruh. Another good class as we come back out here. And a logical place for me to start will be with the young man with the belted gilt. Just the most market hog character. She's the biggest and boldest in her top line, offers the most turn and shape and expressiveness of muscle down her top, back out through her hip. Just the most pure muscle while still having a fairly attractive look through her front 1/3. I like the development of her center rib and body and the way that she blends smoothly and evenly there and the way she handles her top line when she gets out here on the move. If I could modify her, I'd want to set her down on more circumference of foot and bone and maybe even pull her in the side of herself just a little bit more. She's pushing the upper limits in terms of muscle shape and expression when you get back out through her hip, and it hurts her in terms of the way that she handles that hip and hind leg. But
one that with that kind of rib and body and power and dimension, just an easy place to lead off with. From there, it gets a little closer as we come back for second. I'm going to go ahead and use the young man towards the center of the ring to lead off with, or to be second. Just a barrow that offers a bit more width and dimension all the way through. As he comes at me and goes away, he's bolder in the turn to his forerib. He's got more power and dimension out through his upper hip. He just needs more to him and more muscle shape and expression down his top line and out through his hip to get up and challenge any higher in this class. Young man's barrow that rounds out the class is a good functional kind of hog. I like the depth of center. I like the attractiveness through his front 1/3 and the levelness of design and the way he gets out and move. He just needs more to him. He needs pulled apart through his chest floor. He needs more shape and dimension up high, but a very nice project, and let's give all three of these young men a round of applause.
The results of our heavyweight market class: first place with the blue is Bodie McDonald, second place with the blue is Landon Unruh, and third place with the blue is Mason Unruh. Now we will do our overall market hog. We only have a market division today, so this will also be the buckle winner for the overall swine for today as well. For overall, we will need Bella Dearden, Bodie McDonald, Ren Newhold, and Bodie McDonald.
Let's give all of our swine exhibitors a big round of applause. Not a lot of numbers here this morning, but I think the quality's still been good, and I think all the way down through the quality's been better than a lot of places I've been this year. I appreciate the time that has clearly been put into these animals in terms of having some skin and hair condition and cleanliness out here. Too many times at the county fair we don't get that. We just get pigs that They may have seen a wash rack once, and that's as close as they get, but there's been some more time and effort put into these, and I really appreciate that about what the effort that these kids have put in. I think all of you guys should be proud of how these kids have done out here. They're doing a nice job as they get back out here in our final of working them. I think that all 4 of these pigs offer some similarities in terms of having some muscle shape and dimension, some natural rib and body to them that's just good and practical in that way. There's some structural things I'd like to modify in all of these pigs, but I think that there's a lot of good and quality through them as well. I'll give them one more look and we'll select our champion and then down through 3rd overall, but let's give these exhibitors one more big round of applause.
Our grand champion overall market hog is Bodie McDonald from the heavyweight market hog class. We will now bring in the reserve for that class, and that'll be Landon Unruh. Our overall reserve champion market hog is Bodie McDonald. The reserve grand champion came from our 2nd lightweight market hog class. Now for our 3rd overall, we will bring in the reserve from that class, and that'll be Bella Dearden. Our third overall, or top blue market hog, was Ren Newhold. Congratulations, everyone. We will now move on to our open class fun class. This is a class for anyone of all ages who would like to show a pig. You just need to have closed shoes and pants. So if you would like to show a hog or try showing a hog for the first time, please make your way to over here where the holding pen is at. So please make your way to the south side of the barn. While we are waiting for our open class to get around, for round robin, which will take place tomorrow at 8 a.m. for the swine division, for senior showmanship, Bella Deirdre. For intermediate showmanship, it is Bodie and Booker McDonald. And then for junior showmanship, it is Mason and Landon Unruh. So these kids have qualified for round robin, and round robin is your all-around showman. And so please stop by tomorrow to watch these kids show different animals and show their teamwork and experience that they have. Every contestant in our open class fun class day will receive a blue ribbon, so be sure to put that on your wall.
these would always be the toughest, and I'm glad that they're all getting something out here today. Let's give all these kids a huge round of applause for getting out here and doing a great job, keeping working with these pigs, some of them that are way, 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 way bigger than what they are. But let's give all these kids one more great big round of applause.
A big thank you to everyone for participating in our open class fun class. We will have an open class fun class at the end of every show, and tonight for the beef show we will have it right after showmanship, so it will be towards the beginning. So if you want to get a little bit more experience in the ring, please be sure to be there.